Hello everyone, it's Melinda here with CatSmashPuzzles, and today we are doing the pairs competition from the 2026 Nationals. And as my last two videos explained, we are moving into the official competition videos. And we are going to start with the pairs. And I will go over both our preliminary round and our finals round. So first things first, Christy and I debuted at Nationals. We had never been together. It was Christina's first Nationals alongside with me. And so it was super exciting. And we kind of basically hung out the whole weekend. And we did a couple pairs practice. And we just wanted to get ourselves kind of refreshed with each other's styles. And so our preliminary round was Saturday, March 28th at 9 a.m. And we were the first paired group to go. So real quick, just based on the schedule, we had already done our solo preliminary round and on Friday, and so this is now the next day with the preliminary rounds for pairs, and then later in the afternoon will be teams. So we'd already done a couple puzzles prior to that, as well as some team practice. So we had done quite a bit of puzzles up to this point, but we had to make sure we got to bed Friday night relatively early, and I did not sleep that well as much as I wanted to. I was super excited. And so we got into the competition room, and this was our preliminary A puzzle. This is Oceana Ravensburger 500-piece puzzle, and I was super excited to see this one because it is an underwater scene, and I've gotten pretty good with underwater scenes. So when this opened up, me and Christina immediately went after it, and so I will go ahead and run that footage for y'all, but our goals in the preliminary round was to, one, get into the finals. And in the preliminary rounds, there were 200 pairs apiece, so 400 pairs total. And in each preliminary round, the top 100 would move on to the finals. So we had to be in the top 100 especially, but our personal goal was to be in the top 10. And at table 11, where we were seated next to Chloe and Sky, who are half the team of Girls in STEMP, which is a very strong team in nationally, we knew we had some work cut out for us. So we were hoping to be in the top 10 and also trying to get our time to stay under 30 minutes. So that was what our goals were. We set it up, we had it ready to go, and let's see how it goes. Let's smash it.
All right, we're going to count down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty, we did this in 27 minutes and 47 seconds, so that was well under our 30-minute goal, and that got us 13th place out of the 200 pairs that were in that preliminary round. So not too bad. We succeeded in getting into the finals, but we weren't quite in the top 10. Now, to be fair, I think we just didn't have enough sleep the night before, and it was the morning, but I think the time was good for this puzzle. It was not exactly as colorful as you think. It's a bit muted in certain areas, but yeah, the yellowfish stood out, the oceans on the side stood out, and we basically kind of started with the border, and then we just kind of worked our way in, and we finished the turtle fin here kind of at the last part, because that was a bit more complicated with the pattern, but it came together rather quickly. I do think we were just a little bit out of practice with each other and just a little bit tired. And I think if we had a little bit of more energy, I think we would have been in the top 10. But 13th place is great. Chloe and Sky finished in 5th place next to us. So that kind of dampened us a little bit when you start hearing the cheers going, you're like, oh, no, I'm not doing so well. Especially that first one. When first place hits, everybody knows. And so you immediately know you don't get first place. And I've been on both sides of that, not getting first place and getting first place. And it was just one of those, oh, okay, but we didn't need to get first place here. Our goal was to be in the top 10 and get to the finals, which we did. So, well, we did one of those goals anyway. And we also succeeded in our time goal. So very happy with this puzzle. I've done it solo here for y'all, and I did it in 40 minutes and 24 seconds. I swear that 40-minute goal is just hard for me to get under sometimes. And I really did enjoy it. I think we could have been faster, but honestly, it was a great puzzle to do our preliminary round in, and I was very happy with the results. Now, the fastest time was 21 minutes and 11 seconds, which is pretty quick. And that's 9 minutes faster, basically, than what we've been trying to get under. And so we do have some work to cut out for us. I think we can start moving towards that 25-minute goal in the future. But I'll go ahead and share also what happened in preliminary round B, which me and Christina were not in. And that puzzle was Moss. I'll show you a picture of it right here for you. That was, I think, a harder puzzle than Oceana. I'm glad we got this puzzle instead of this one. But this was preliminary round B, which was at 11:30 in the morning. I would have preferred that time to puzzle. I think I would have been faster, but I think with this puzzle, it definitely would have been a slower time. But the fastest for this time was 21 minutes and 52 seconds, which first place was Josh and Boy Wonder from Houston. They got it in under 22 minutes. So I can see where the times need to be for me and Christina to be in that top section. We're going to have to probably move our time goal under 25 minutes. But for the Moss puzzle, the top 6 pairs, I believe, in that preliminary round got under 30 minutes. So it was definitely a harder puzzle, especially the dark area where the bark is. So, it does depend on the puzzle for sure. Time goals can be kind of adjusted for that. But, as the times have been set, I now know where we need to be. But we moved on to the finals, so very happy about that. Later in the afternoon, we did our team practice, and then we did our team prelim. And I'll go over all the team's information in the next video. But let's go ahead and skip to Sunday, where they actually started the pairs final first, then the solo, and then teams. I think that they should have done the solo first, then the pairs, so that the way the solo's kind of out of the way and that pressure's gone, and that the pairs and teams are a bit more relaxing and fun, I would say. But, and one of the things I personally worry about is if I didn't do well in the pairs, it would kind of reflect into my solo competition. So on Sunday at 9 o'clock, the pairs final, we all kind of got in, sat down at our table, and me and Christina were at table 25. And I believe I set the goal to be in the top 15, which I think was a bit, if I were to say my goal was a bit steep on this one. I think, I was basing it off how me and Christina did in the last year's pair final, which we would have gotten 19th place. So I thought, after more practice we've had with each other for the last year, we would do better than the 19th place. So I thought 15th would be a good goal to set. But I kind of underestimated how many strong pairs there were, and I also underestimated the puzzle we got. And the puzzle we ended up getting was Sweet Playground by Rose Kahn. And if you don't know who the artist Rose Kahn is, She is the one who did the 6 Portal 7,000 piece Ravensburger puzzle, and I definitely look forward to get my hands on that one day. She did a lot of artist signings, and she was a very prominent artist in the competition. I believe she was also commenting on the pairs final, so she was talking during the live stream as well. And I have gone through the live stream footage on all 3 events, but I looked in the pairs. We're not very much in both the prelim and the final. I'll try to find some footage if I can, and I'll play it at the end. If I don't have any, then I won't play any. But we did get some pictures, but I do think the pairs is the one live stream footage I couldn't find much of me and Christina in, unfortunately. But yes, this is Rose Khan's puzzle, and as you can see, it is very busy. And as you can probably tell, this was probably going to be a very difficult puzzle. I think they really do put the most difficult puzzle in the pairs final, because the fish one from last year was also very difficult. And so when Christina and I saw that, we were like, oh, okay, maybe 30 minutes might be a bit of a lofty goal. But we will see how it goes. Let's smash it.
So, with all of that, I want you guys to get ready, and I want you to make it loud. I want to know, are you ready to puzzle? And we're going to start the timer. And we're going to count together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Puzzle!
Great work. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, that did not go the way we wanted it to, but it was still a good puzzle. It was fun to do. But yeah, we did this in 37 minutes and 9 seconds. This was RoseCon Sweet Playground 500-piece puzzle from Ravensburger, and it was a very difficult puzzle to do. It was fun in certain areas for sure. I took on that purple octopus on the right, and then, me and Christina did it sideways. We kind of started on the border, kind of got ourselves somewhat situated, but towards the about 3/4 the way in, we were really stuck in that ship part, the dark brown area. It was just a very busy puzzle, and you can just kind of tell we were just a little bit discombobulated from it. But I think it was a test of our abilities, and I also think that it did show what we needed to work on. But we had a great time doing it. Now, our table mates to our right was Kyle and Matthew, and they are half of the team of 3.5 men with Josh and the Boy Wonder from Houston. So you can see where we were. Both tables were on a prelim and our finals. We were sitting next to some heavy hitters. And again, I definitely think I underestimated some pairs' strengths. But me and Christina are still a strong pair. We just got to work on a few things, and we definitely got to work on our busy puzzle. But ultimately, this time got us 36th place out of the final 200 pairs. Remember, in the preliminary rounds, there were 200 pairs, and only the top 100 in each of those rounds went on to the finals. So there was a total of 400 pairs. So we technically got 36 out of 400, which is amazing. It is, our first time at Nationals, and I think ultimately we definitely made a statement, and we had a lot of fun. Now, I will give myself a little bit of a bashing here. I was very upset with that result in the moment. I was not mad at Christina in any way, shape, or form. It was my fault, in my opinion. I got mad at the puzzle for a brief moment, and I think that's what pulled us down a little bit. So Christina was great. She did what she needed to do. I just think I was a bit on the weak side with this puzzle, and it stressed me out a little bit. And I definitely think we could have been in the top 25 if that hadn't happened. Would the top 15 have happened? Not with this puzzle. I think we should have just practiced more with busy puzzles, and that might have gotten us to that point, but we hadn't really practiced busy puzzles, and I think that's what hurt us in the long run. But ultimately, it was a good experience. On the result page, actually, they actually separate the debuted pairs and solo and teams. And since me and Christina's first Nationals, we are the second-ranked pair from the pairs who are debuting in Nationals. So for our first time, we did pretty good. Only one pair beat us who hadn't been at Nationals before. All the other pairs that were strong and had done Nationals quite a few times, if not the whole time that Nationals has been going on, we did pretty good. I can't be disappointed in those results because, still the top 50, top 40, it's very good. I think we were the top Texan pair as well. So we're giving Texas a name here. I think California, there's a few other states that seem to have a foothold in speed puzzling, and I think Texas now has finally started to, dig its heels in. Now, who won? Boy Wonder and Josh. So technically that was a half Texan pair, but they did this puzzle in 25 minutes and 11 seconds. So they were 4 minutes slower than their preliminary round puzzle, and this does tell you that the puzzle was a bit more difficult. I kept saying that a lot of these top pairs were getting 23, 22, 21 minutes. When this puzzle took one of the top puzzlers in the world 25 minutes with his pair partner. So yeah, this puzzle was difficult. And I think only the top 5 or 6 also got under 30 minutes. And I kind of looking back on that fish puzzle that me and Christina did, when we were practicing, and I think we were in like 42 or 41 minutes. And that just kind of shows you how much speed puzzling has just improved with everybody in general, because that would have got us 19th place, and we were 4 minutes faster with this difficult puzzle. So, the competition's getting more fierce. There's people that come out of the woodwork. I was one of them. Christina was probably one of them as well. And that just, they start honing their skills, and it just improves from there. So because we got 36, I did not come home with a trophy for pairs, but that's okay. Christina did take the Sweet Playground puzzle home. That is a good thing that, if you go to the preliminary and finals, each of the pair gets a puzzle to take home. So I took this one because I really wanted it, and she took the Sweet Playground one. So hopefully she's practiced it and done it as a solo. We'll see how she does. So my takeaway from pairs. I think Christina and I did good for the competition. We could have probably improved in a few spots, and I think we will when we do another big competition like this. We are starting to practice the Zoom competitions that now have the solo pair team contests, and so we are doing that as pairs. We may actually team up with Shay on a few, and maybe possibly Boy Wonder. We'll see. And if I do get him on camera, you'll kind of be introduced to him, basically. I'll get his mother's permission and all. Me and Christina did really well for our pairs debut in Nationals. 36th place wasn't quite our goals, but we had so much fun, and I look forward to going with her again. Alrighty, so the next video will be going over our teams with Christina, Shay, and Megan and I. So I am looking forward to going over all what happened with the teams event and how we did. And then after that, our 5th and final video will be my solo finish. And I will let y'all know how that goes. But as for pairs, we technically didn't smash it, but we smashed it for our first time at Nationals. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.